Hello everyone, my name's Miranda, and today in BookTube I am here to review Grave Mercy by Robin Lafevers. This book I've been wanting to read for a long time. It has been on my to-read list for a while, and I finally got around to doing it, so fist bump for me. And I am so happy that I did because it was absolutely amazing! Now, since we saw how much trouble I had pronouncing the author's name, which is a relatively simple last name, you're gonna have to bear with me as I try and pronounce the name of the main character because although it's probably not that complicated, I suck at pronouncing names. So just bear with me while I try and figure this puzzle out. If you haven't heard of Grave Mercy, it's basically about a 17-year-old girl named Isma, I think is how you say it, and she is a daughter of death. Yes, the for real actual death. And when the book opens, she is getting married even though she's only like 13 or 14, which is just really weird. I was like, what's going on here? And basically her father is just kind of selling her off to the highest bidder because he hates her for what he sees as a betrayal because he isn't her father. Death is her father, which means her mom cheated on him. So he just basically gives her away to whoever will take her, and this guy, should not be having such a young wife, ends up marrying her. But after they're married, he just turns into like a sexaholic who attacks her, and then he finds the scars on her back from when she was poisoned as a young girl to try and kill her before she could be born, and he realizes that she is the daughter of death and he's been tricked, and he flips out and is like, I'm gonna beat you up and arrest you, blah blah blah. He goes out to get the constable or whoever's in charge at this time period, and as he's gone she gets taken by this witch and gets brought to the covenant for St. Morton, who is the saint of death, and becomes part of this covenant where their kind of goal is to carry out St. Morton's wishes and kill the people who bear the marks of St. Morton, which means basically they're supposed to die. So like if they're gonna get poisoned, they have a mark on their lips. If they're gonna get choked or strangled, they have a mark on their neck. And they basically train these young girls as assassins to kill these men who have been proclaimed to die. And Isma takes to this covenant like a bee to a honey tree because she is so done with men after all that's happened between her father and her former husband. She's just like, men suck. They all need to die. So she starts training, and we find out that because she's the daughter of death, she's immune to poison. So she becomes like really involved in the poison and making it and brewing it, because where some people can't breathe in the toxic fumes because it will kill them, she's immune to it, so she's fine. So she really starts learning about all the poison and just kind of gets situated in the covenant. Then go to 4 years later, which I'm automatically like, this is awesome because I love books that have flash forwards. They just make my day. Isma is out on her first mission where she is basically trying to kill this man who is a traitor to the Duchess of Brittany, which is the ruling country in this series, and all goes right on her first mission. She kills the guy she's supposed to. It all goes perfectly. Her second mission, everything goes to crap though, because although she kills the guy that she is supposed to, this man named Gabriel Duval walks in right after she killed the guy. He goes to the covenant to complain that she killed basically these people who he was going to use to find out who the real traitor is, because there's someone in the Duchess's inner circle who was the traitor, and she killed them before he could interrogate them. The main leader of the covenant and this other guy from court believe that Duval is the traitor to the crown. They send Isma along with him to go and spy on him, but also to help Gabriel figure out who the real traitor is, and she poses as his mistress, which they're all very opposed to because, as you can expect, Gabriel and Isma hate each other from the moment they first laid eyes on each other. It's very complicated. It's a very long plot, as you can see, but what happens is just so cool. It is a 500-page book, and I wanted it to go on more. Isma and Duval, I loved watching their relationship grow and change, how they kind of didn't trust each other, and then they did learn to trust each other, and there were moments when I just wanted to like shake Isma, like when she was like, I don't know that I can trust Duval. I was like, of course you can trust him. Stop questioning everything he's saying. I really think the characters were really interesting and really strong, all of them. There were none that really annoyed me or bothered me, and usually when you have books like this where it's court espionage and who can we really trust, I get so annoyed because it's like obvious who the main bad guy is. And this one, it was very interesting to see how it all played out, because the Duchess in this case is a young girl. She's only like 12 or 13, and she basically has no right to her actual duchy right now, like her land, unless she gets married. And the whole thing is that like all these gross old men want to marry her, and she's like, I don't want to marry any of you, you suck, and y'all just want me for my money. And Duval is kind of on her side trying to help her find a good marriage that she'll actually like, and that puts him against a lot of people in court. I really like the relationship between Anne, who's the Duchess, and Duval, because I thought it was a really cute, really strong relationship. There were just a lot of good relationships in this. Like there was no one that I really felt was over cheesy or kind of like annoying. I like Isma's relationship with her friend Aneth and her friend Sabella, who we're going to read their stories in the next 2 books, which I'm super excited for. But before I say more, I don't want to give any spoilers away, so this is going to do it for the non-spoiler section of the video. And if you haven't read the book, you're going to go want to read it now, because I promise you it is really good. But don't watch the rest of this video because spoilers, they are coming. So you have been warned. Bye for now, non-spoilers. So the big thing with this book is, who is the traitor? Everyone else in the story kind of wants us to believe it's Duval, and even Isma kind of goes against her better judgment and believes it is Duval even after he's told us time and time again and proved to her that she can trust him. And that kind of annoyed me when she just kind of blindly followed the Covenant's orders, even when she was beginning to have her doubts and suspicions about the Covenant, like when they put the order out on Duval's mom, Madam H, and she was like, I don't know if I really feel comfortable killing her because she doesn't deserve it. Like, there are people way worse than her in this court who aren't getting the marks of death and they get to live. Why should they get to live and I don't get to kill them? I thought she wasn't going to go through with it, and then when she like went to go poison her, I was like, oh, Isma, don't make me hate you. Because then when she redeemed herself and was like, if you'll swear loyalty to Anne, I promise you that I will not kill you. I really like that, and I get afterwards that it was like her defining moment where she realized serving death doesn't always mean you have to kill someone. There are other things you can do to help them kind of maybe earn their place out of death. Much like after the battlefield, when she realized that she could be kind of an angel of mercy and help people who are suffering rather than just like blindly cutting down anyone the Covenant tells her to. Of course, though, my favorite thing in the whole series was Duval and Isma's relationship. It was just so cute. It was really quick. I can see how some people might complain that it was like all of a sudden she didn't trust him and then she was just kissing him. Love to see a wedding between them. That was the only thing that really bothered me, was we never got like a real answer if they were going to get married or not, because she was like, I love him, but I don't know if I'm ready to get married yet. I thought their relationship was really cute. I liked the whole aspect of the chess game and their whole relationship, and how they slowly became to trust each other more and came to realize that they're really the only two they can rely on, because they're the only two that really have the purest of interest when it comes to the Duchess, and they're really the only two who want to protect her wholeheartedly. Everyone else kind of brings their own agendas in, and that influences how they act around the Duchess and whose interests they serve. But those two were really, they just wanted to protect the Duchess at all costs, so that kind of brought them together. Duval got poisoned. That worried that the story was gonna like take a turn and get like boring and just like she was gonna start worrying over him, but that was, I think, really good, because her own poison that was hurting him. So the entire time I was like, where is this poison that he keeps getting it? Every time he came in her room he was healthy, and then whenever he left he would be 10 times worse when he came back. So I was like, where is this poison? And then it turned out it was on the chess piece, because the Chancellor knew that that is like the closest thing to Duval that he would always use, so he put it on the chess piece. And I liked how they took the poison out, how Isma herself served as the antidote, and she kind of sucked all the poison out of his body just by hugging him and kissing him and all that. And we were kind of getting hints about it, how she would be like, oh, when Duval lays with me to sleep he's better in the morning, and then when he doesn't see me at all he's 10 times worse when he comes back. So I was like, what's the connecting dot right here? I knew there was never really a chance that Duval was gonna die, because that would not happen at all. You wouldn't spend 400 pages building up a romance just to have the guy die in the last 100. But even if he had, I think Isma would have been able to handle herself. Isma I liked as an individual character too. It's not just when she was Duval. I thought she was a really strong character, and she is just like not putting up with anyone's shite. This is a good way to put it. The opposite of Isma's character is America Singer from The Selection, and we all know how much I hate America Singer because she's a whiny little just weak girl, and Isma is the complete and total opposite, even though there were some moments where I was still irritated with her. So she's not perfect, but that's okay, because no one is, so it kind of made her more real. And I love seeing how she changed, how she kind of blindly put her trust in the Covenant, and then slowly through her own eyes and through Gabriel's help she realized that maybe the Covenant, not that they're bad, but that they can misinterpret and they're not always perfect. And originally she thought it was just all men were the problem, that all men suck and are just awful, disgusting, evil pigs, but then she realized through Duval and through his friends that some men are good, and that there are even some people you think you can trust that turn out to be bad. So that was her realization. I think that was a really strong and really hard realization for her, because these people are basically the ones that groomed her and raised her and really gave her a family that could love her, because her own father didn't, and her mom died before she could. She grew up her whole life thinking her mom hated her and had tried to kill her when she was just a baby, but then she found out that her mom actually had wanted her, and her dad was the one that forced her mother to take the poison that was supposed to kill her. I think that confession from the witch hedge about how her mom had really loved her finally pushed Isma over the edge, and she realized that she doesn't need the Covenant to survive, that she has her own family and she has her own love, and it's okay if she wants to love Duval. And the Covenant isn't always right because the way they're treating her friends, how one of her friends is going to be locked up for the rest of her life, basically never allowed to go outside, and the other one they sent on a mission that is basically making her crazy and going to kill her. And that's why I'm really excited to see how those stories are going to go in the next 2 books. So I'm really, really excited to get my hands on the next book. This book was just so, so good. It's one of those under the radar ones, but it was really, if you check it out, I think you'll really like it. It's long, 500 pages, but it flies by so fast. I really wanted a Duval and Isma wedding, all the core espionage and everything. It was just so cool. Normally I get bored with all that stuff or I find it tedious, but this one was just really cool because Duval had it all laid out on his chess piece, and you saw like how all the players kind of moved around, and that was really cool to see it play out. And I really, really love this book so much. I would recommend it to everyone, but especially if you love kind of those older, more gothic kind of novels, because this really had that kind of feel to it. I mean, you can tell by the cover. Look at this. It's like all creepy and ominous looking, and she's in a red dress with her crossbow, and it's a really, really cool story. I love pretty covers that are actually good stories inside. That made me so happy. Not particularly sure what the next one's called, but I have it on hold at the library already, so I can't wait to check that one out. It's supposed to be Sabella's story, I think, is the next one, so I'm excited to see how that's gonna go. It was a really, really great story. It was so enthralling, so action-packed. I would definitely recommend it for you to check out because it's so, so good, and the best part is the series is done already, so you don't have to wait 2 years in between to read the next one. Yay! I would give this book 5 out of 5 stars. It was so engrossing, so great. I could literally not put it down until I finished it, and really, although you're not going to be surprised by anything that happens, it'll definitely keep you entertained and interested. So if you're one of the awesome people who have read Grave Mercy, leave down below in the comments what you thought of the book. Did you love it as much as I did? And it just exceeded my expectations for the book by so much. I'm so excited to read the rest of the series, and I hope that Isma and Duval are going to be in the rest of the series because I don't think I can manage it without them. They're so cute, but I hope the rest of the girls are just as good as Isma. So be sure to look out for my reviews of those 2 books, and of course, if you haven't read Grave Mercy or you know someone who hasn't, definitely tell them to check it out because it's different. It sounds really weird and confusing, but it's not. When you get into it, you get really interested and invested. The characters are all well drawn out. The plot is amazing, and I think and I hope you will all love it as much as I did. So that about wraps it up for this book talk. Don't forget to leave all your comments about the book and the series down below, but please, no spoilers. I have not read the rest of the series yet, and I'm working on it. So I will see you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye!